Is the strange man the devil, a god, a demon, or is he something else? Spend the next few minutes here and we'll explore his character and uncover his true identity. For those of you who haven't played this game, Red Dead Redemption 2 is set in a fictionalized representation of the United States in 1899. It follows Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and a member of the Vandalin gang. The events of this game are what happened before the events of the game Red Dead Redemption 1. This strange man has been called many things. The most famous theory out there about him is that he's the devil or the Grim Reaper. There are other theories out there as well. Everything from Cain from the Bible to God in heaven or some kind of demon. I partly agree with some of these theories, but I have a completely different theory about who this person is and what his true identity could be. To explain my theory, we need to understand a few things about the strange man of Red Dead Redemption. There's a lot of work that has already been done and we know things about him already. We all know that he is not human because he was shot 3 times at close range and nothing happened.
Hey, there's a beautiful spot.
Sure. What are you doing here?
My accounts. I'm an accountant.
Is that so?
In a way.
What's your name?
You know, it's the darndest thing. I can't remember.
Tell me your damn name and where you know me from.
Well, I know you from Mexico. I know you from back out west. Hell, I know you from all over.
Tell me your name or I won't be responsible for my actions.
Oh, but you will. You will be responsible. This is a fine spot. See you around, cowboy.
Damn you!
Yes, many have.
Barely even a scratch. He just kept on walking. We also know that other characters in the game have seen him overlooking locations where many people will die or where many people have died. There's also a different blind beggar who will tell you this if you give him some money.
Okay, sure.
Two strangers seek thee. One from this world. Perhaps one from another. One brings hatred. I'm not so sure what the other brings.
Now, armed with that information, it's understandable why people would think that the strange man is some sort of demon or the devil. A reaper in his Sunday best, as one NPC put it. But there's more to it than that. In the game, there's a small cabin in Bayou where we find items that directly lead us to the strange man's identity. To stop you guys from wasting any time, this small cabin in the woods does not belong to the strange man. He doesn't live here and is not the one drawing paintings when no one's around. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's divide the analysis into 2 parts. First, we'll look at the environment outside the cabin and then we'll analyze the things that we find inside. Beginning outside, we see that the cabin shows no signs of life. There's a dead alligator that's caged in the basement. It's an open basement. The area where we find this small house is called Bayou Noir. Noir is Creole for the French word black, or noir. The color does have significance, as black people who practiced voodoo back in the days would name things black or dark if they were associated with death. So if there was a maison noire in your neighborhood, then you knew that death stalks that house. It's worth mentioning the history of alligators and voodoo, by the way. When the slaves first came to the south to work on the French plantations, they were quickly introduced to the brutal nature of alligators. The French introduced African slaves to the south areas in and around Louisiana in around 1710, after capturing a number as plunder during the War of the Spanish Succession. The way the alligators killed people was so powerful and brutal. They would use their powerful jaws to crush the body, and once their prey was dead, they would use their powerful legs and tail to drag the body into the water. Voodoo priests and priestesses paid attention to this, and over the years, the teeth, claws, feet, and tail of the alligators became crucial components and ornaments for those who practiced voodoo. What's the point of all this information though? Well, Most people never understood the point of having a dead alligator in the basement and having the basement have open walls. I believe that it's being harvested for parts to use in voodoo rituals. So when a tooth is needed, you can just grab one from the basement. When a leg is needed for the ritual, you can just do the same. A nail, a tail, you can grab those two from the dead alligator. The water that surrounds the house is full of other alligators. This is by design. By leaving a dead alligator body in the open basement, other alligators can smell this rotting flesh and stay close by. They'll come closer to try and eat. Coincidentally, this makes it a lot easier to capture the next alligator and put it in the basement. An abundance of alligators around the house acts as protection as well, to keep unwanted visitors away. No one wants to walk up to a house surrounded by alligators, that's for sure. Inside the cabin, we have a few creepy things to go over. I'll go through them as best as I can, starting now. Immediately to your left as you enter the cabin, on a coffee table, there's a poem about Jimmy Brooks. Jimmy Brooks is an NPC that you meet during the game, and you can either save his life or let him fall off a cliff and die.
Thank you, Arthur. I don't much like being saved, but when I have to be.
I understand.
You okay?
Sure. He only punched me. Arthur punched him a lot harder.
All right, now.
Hey, who's that guy over there looking at us?
Weren't you in Blackwater a few weeks back?
Me? No, sir. Ain't from there.
Oh, you were. Well, I definitely saw you with a bunch of fellers.
Me? No. Impossible. Listen, buddy, come here for a minute.
I saw you.
Come here.
Come on, get!
I don't like this. Me neither. Go get the girls home. I'm gonna go have a word with our friend.
Be careful, Arthur.
Just a word. Yeah!
Please!
Just borrowing it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah.
Help someone! You have to help me!
Why are you telling lies about me?
No. I got it wrong, partner. I got it very wrong. Now please help me out.
I ain't never been in Blackwater.
Then why are you chasing me?
I've got an unfortunate face.
Yes, me too. Now please pull me up. Please. Please. My hands are slipping.
All right, come on. You okay, partner?
No. No, I am not. I'm a mess.
Well, you ain't dead.
There is that. Jimmy Brooks.
I think it's best for both of us if we pretend this never happened.
Well, I agree. You saved my life. You're a good man, and here. You want a pen? It's one of them steel ones.
Oh. That's very kind of you. But I'm not a good man, Jimmy Brooks. Not usually. You see, I was in Blackwater. I killed people. And maybe I should have killed you. Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Me? I never saw you. Not now, not never. I think we have an understanding.
Of course we do. Jimmy Brooks.
Your decision during the interaction gives you honor or it reduces your honor. This poem on the table changes depending on the choices you made with Jimmy Brooks. If you saved his life, the poem will read, "There was a man called Jimmy Brooks who was always running into crooks, till one chased him down and he had to talk his way around that Jimmy isn't as dumb as he looks." If you let him die though, the poem will read, "There was a man called Jimmy Brooks who was always running into crooks, but the man from the ferry found him too contrary. Now Jimmy's family don't see him very much. Above this table you can find two sentences. One reads from the snow to the cave, which is a reference to the plot of Arthur Morgan's journey throughout the game. Next to it you can find, I gave everything for art and I learned too much and nothing at all. I'm not sure what this one means exactly. It could be the devs joking about how much crunch time they had to put in to create this piece of art that we're now enjoying. It could also be a clue as to who owns this little cabin. Moving along, we have a map of Armadillo, and on the map there's a sentence that reads, I offered you happiness of 2 generations. You made your choice. This is just one of the many references to Armadillo that we find in the cabin. I believe that this one specifically talks about Herbert Moon, who's a shopkeeper in Armadillo. Herbert is a racist, sexist, homophobe who dreams of keeping his bloodline pure. Unfortunately for him, his daughter fell in love with a Jewish man and they had a child together.
Hey, mister.
Hey, Pard.
You seen a couple deputies nearby? Marshall's boys, Jonah and Eli.
Are they Jews, mister? They sound like Jews.
I don't know. Why?
Why? This whole thing is nothing but a Jewish plot. You do know that, don't you?
I find that highly unlikely, amigo.
Well, I don't like Jews. Or colored folk. Or natives, now that you mention it.
Well, you're a nice, kind-hearted man to meet in a time of trouble.
Kind does not come into it.
Why? What are you talking about?
Why? I bet you like Catholics. I can't stand them neither. Nor women. Fabians, socialists, homosexuals, Asians, or British. Between them, they've ruined this country. Ruined it. It was a good country once. Now people are eating each other, and it's all the fault of the Jewish, British, Catholic, homosexual elite and their ideas. Well, I, for one, won't stand for it.
Have you ever met a Jewish person?
Thankfully not.
Or a British Catholic homosexual?
Not in my store.
Now, here I have to create a theory because nothing's been confirmed and there's not a lot of information in the game as well. But I believe that this strange man spoke to Herbert Moon about the cholera in the waters of Armadillo and he gave him a choice. The same as he gave John Marston during the game Red Dead Redemption 1. The strange man probably told him that there are a lot of people with mixed blood in Armadillo. I'm assuming quite a few Latinos lived in that area, and that he could save their lives by warning them not to drink the water because the water had cholera in it. Or he could do nothing. Now, knowing how insane Herbert Moon is, I'm sure he chose his happiness, which was to see these people die so they could be replaced by pure-blooded Americans, who were preferably not gay. This decision proved costly as his daughter, grandchild and son-in-law probably ended up drinking the cholera water and dying. Hence the decision cost him 2 generations. The water is black with venom is also written on the wall. This is a hint about Armadillo's cholera-infected water. His final toll with Sound Migrator's coming is yet again about Armadillo. Remember, we don't really see the strange man in Red Dead Redemption 2 except as a photograph, a painting, or a shadow in the mirror. I interpreted this to mean that once the town crier had used his little handheld bell for the final time, meaning once the last cholera-infected person dies in Armadillo, the strange man will finally be able to walk amongst human. Next we have the pictures in the room that change depending on whether you have high honor or low honor in the game. The unfinished image in the middle of the room changes over time. It ends up being a painting of the strange man. When this happens, if you look in the mirror, you'll see him there. The strange man will be standing right behind you. On the right side of the cabin, there are 2 tables which appear to have 2 altars on them. The altar furthest in is a smaller one, and the one closest to the door is a little bit larger and it has skulls on it and what happens to be an unopened bottle of rum. It's now clear that the strange man is the Voodoo Loa Baron Samedi. It's not Papa Legba, who's another voodoo deity. Papa Legba is the voodoo deity that has control over who communicates with the other voodoo gods. in the cabin, we see two altars. One dedicated to Papa Legba, and the one closest to the door is dedicated to Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi is the head of the Gege family of Loire. His brothers are Azagon Lacroix and Baron Picon, and he is the husband of a voodoo lover called Maman Brigitte. That's the theory. The strange man of Red Dead Redemption is Baron Samedi. I'd like to take this theory one step further. Traditionally, Baron Samedi is described as a tall, thin man wearing a black tailcoat, black pants, and a top hat. He is an accountant who accounts for the dead. Devotees of Baron Samedi often offer him items such as cigars, rum, and black coffee. Inside the cabin, on the altar dedicated to him, we see skulls representing death. We also see an unopened bottle of what could be rum. Just like the strange man of Red Dead Redemption, Baron Samedi has no power to make deals, but he has a cruel sense of humor and can be quite insulting. He knows exactly when you'll die and where. With this information, he can give you an option to not die there by giving you additional details. Then it's up to you to do with that information what you will. Despite his intimidating presence and connection to death, he's also seen as a protector of children. Now, think about all the members of the Vandalin gang in Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Who ended up surviving all the way to the end? It's the child. Jack Martin. A child was the only one who ended up surviving. I personally believe that this was because of John Martin's interactions with Baron Samedi, or the Strange Man as he is known in the game. Thank you guys for watching this video. If this video does well, I'll make sure to make more Red Dead Redemption theories and mystery videos in the future. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.